For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hard-working, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
Every Trump story begins with something flashy, loud, and totally unnecessary. Enter Michelle Obama, not with fanfare, but with calm authority capable of quieting a hurricane. She doesn't need rallies, microphones, or pyrotechnics. One glance, one measured word, and egos start to crumble. Trump ran his presidency like a reality show, full of spectacle and chaos. Michelle, however, is the episode that peels back the curtain, revealing the production for what it really is: absurd, staged, and ripe for scrutiny.
I noticed that you went back to the White House recently. That you haven't been back.
No.
Since
Wasn't invited. Ooh, shade. You know, that's a tradition. You do your official portraits. The next president is supposed to invite you back to hang them. We were never invited back. So these pictures have been done for a long, long time.
Trump may have reimagined campaigning, but Michelle redefines leadership without the noise. She doesn't shout. She exposes absurdity with surgical precision. Watching her dissect his antics is like seeing an English teacher grade an essay written entirely in caps lock. Every Trump victory speech paraded self-importance, a commercial for his own ego. Michelle flips it all, revealing that beneath the slogans and carefully crafted sound bites lies a man who consistently confuses attention with genuine accomplishment.
Obvious mental decline, his history as a convicted felon, a known slumlord, a predator found liable for sexual abuse, all of this while we pick apart Kamala's answers from interviews that he doesn't even have the courage to do, y'all. Please, do not hand our fates over to the light.
If politics were a stage, Trump would be the one hogging the spotlight, bragging about how perfect the lighting is. Then Michelle walks in, flips the switch, and suddenly the dust is visible to everyone. She doesn't need to attack him. Her presence alone is the roast, effortlessly dismantling his image in seconds while he fumbles defending it.
Whenever we look to this White House for some leadership or consolation or any semblance of steadiness, what we get instead is chaos, division, and a total and utter lack of empathy. Empathy. That's something I've been thinking a lot about lately.
Every time Trump tweets, brags, or boasts, Michelle's quiet presence lands heavier than any speech. He stages rallies like over-the-top infomercials, desperate for attention, while she builds a lasting legacy with patience and purpose. It's a total mismatch, a woman who speaks to inspire versus a man who speaks to be noticed. Michelle isn't in his arena. She embodies the class, composure, and genuine connection Trump can only pretend to possess.
I hope you'll forgive me if I'm a little frustrated that some of us are choosing to ignore Donald Trump's gross incompetence while asking Kamala to dazzle us at every turn. I hope that you'll forgive me if I'm a little angry that we are indifferent to his erratic behavior.
Trump built walls, Michelle built bridges. Not metaphor, it's the difference between fear and purpose. Every critique she turns into a mirror, and suddenly Trump's reflection shrinks. He feeds on division to fill seats, she nurtures hope to fill hearts. His strength is loud and showy, hers is quiet, deliberate, and visionary. The contrast couldn't be clearer.
Our leaders labeling fellow citizens enemies of the state while emboldening torch-bearing white supremacists. They watch in horror as children are torn from their families and thrown into cages, and pepper spray and rubber bullets are used on peaceful protesters for...
Michelle doesn't take jabs. She lands poetry wrapped as precision strikes. While Trump counts applause, she counts people. His boasts about numbers contrast with her focus on service, sincerity, and responsibility. In a culture obsessed with self-promotion, her words are revolutionary. She dismantles his ego quietly, never acknowledging him directly, exposing irresponsibility while he rewrites history in all caps. Trump treats politics like an applause contest. Michelle treats it like duty. His empire runs on ego fuel, hers on purpose. One cultivates fleeting attention, the other earns lasting respect. When she speaks, people listen. When he speaks, they forget.
If we don't get this election right, your wife your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage. So, are you as men prepared to look into the eyes of the women and children you love and tell them that you supported this assault on...
Watching Michelle alongside Trump is like comparing an Ivy League commencement to a late-night infomercial. She moves with calm intelligence, he sprints on impulse. When she says, let's work together, half the nation exhales. When he says it, people scan for fine print. She never needs mockery, her logic does the work. Every story of hope and perseverance subtly dissects his leadership. Trump would likely respond with self-congratulation. Michelle doesn't even acknowledge him. The louder he gets, the smaller he seems beside her quiet precision. When he leans on fear, she leans on faith. When he spreads division, she offers direction. Unity isn't a slogan for her, it's actionable. Her brilliance is delivering uncomfortable truths with empathy.
Nation that's underperforming not simply on matters of policy, but on matters of character. And that's not just disappointing, it's downright infuriating. Because I know the goodness and the grace that is out there in households and neighborhoods all across this nation.
Trump treats power as a transaction. Michelle treats it as transformation. He exploits, she elevates, that's the punchline. She leads by example, he leads by exaggeration. Every time she speaks of progress, it's vision. Every time he speaks of success, it's a commercial. She doesn't need to name him, the contrast dismantles him effortlessly. True leadership isn't pretending to relate, it's listening. While Trump builds echo chambers, Michelle builds classrooms. Possibility is her currency, his empty promises are expired coupons. She educates through contrast, poise as roast, perspective as punchline. Leadership isn't noise, it's impact. Her integrity makes vanity look hollow. Against her calm authority, his outrage-fueled brand collapses. She makes substance fashionable again, the ultimate threat to a spectacle-driven ego.
Taking away our freedom to control our bodies, the freedom to become a mother through IVF like I did, those things are not going to improve the health outcomes of our wives, mothers, and daughters. Shutting down the Department of Education, banning our books, none of that will prepare our kids for the future.
Trump's power play was all about image, looking strong rather than being strong. Michelle doesn't chase optics, she shapes outcomes. Her confidence is cultivated, not cosmetic. Every measured word exposes the obsession with self, the chaos, the performance of strength. She dismantles Trumpism without ever naming it. Leadership, she shows, is service, not spectacle, earning trust, not demanding loyalty. While Trump built movements on volume, Michelle builds resonance that lasts beyond headlines. One fades when the cameras stop, the other shapes generations. She reframes his narrative, proving presidency is caretaking, not starring. Empathy becomes strength, integrity becomes armor. Trump treats politics as a contest. Michelle treats it as a commitment. That contrast ensures her words cut deeper than any insult ever could.
Well, there's all this protocol. I mean, this is like a state visit, so they tell you that you're going to do this, they're going to stand here. Never before do you get this gift, so I'm sort of like, okay. Everyone cleared out, and no one would come and take the box, and I'm thinking, do we take the picture with? And then my husband said that he grabbed the box and took it back inside.
Michelle doesn't need to roast Trump, reality does it for her. While he chases attention, she embodies dignity. Scandals don't touch her, standards do. He tweets at dawn, she mentors at sunrise. He seeks validation from crowds, she builds it through communities. Her power lasts beyond polls, it endures through purpose. She doesn't destroy Trump, she simply lives what he pretends to be. By showing the weight of leadership and the essence of service, she exposes his performance as hollow spectacle. Real power acts quietly, uplifts and endures. Political toughness, she shows, is patience, not posturing. While he remains trapped in ego and chaos, she models balance, empathy, and integrity. He seeks applause, she builds lasting worth. The contrast couldn't be clearer.
Demonizing our children for being who they are and loving who they love. Look, that doesn't make anybody's life better. Instead, it only makes us small. And let me tell you this, going small is never the answer. Going small is the opposite of what we teach our kids. Going small is petty, it's unhealthy, and quite frankly, it's unpresidential.
Michelle is the calm after the storm, the clarity that makes chaos irrelevant. She doesn't fight Trump's noise, she transcends it. Like an unshakable skyline against a thunderstorm, her presence quiets the performance. She knows endurance outlasts outrage. Her words carry serene authority that pierces deeper than anger ever could. Leadership, she demonstrates, isn't theater, it's stewardship. The presidency isn't a stage, it's a service. While Trump bellows from podiums and gold-plated platforms, she quietly nurtures communities, teaches children to grow, and inspires vision beyond slogans. She doesn't need a microphone, momentum follows her. Her strength is tangible, lasting. Trump may chase headlines, but Michelle builds legacies. In contrast, his spectacle collapses, revealing that real power endures long after the noise fades.
If you follow regularly what is said by those who are in charge of the federal government right now, there is a weak commitment to what we understood, and not just my generation, at least since World War II, our understanding of how a liberal...
While he trades in fear like it's national currency, she trades in focus, dignity, and purpose. He builds walls, she builds bridges, he thrives on chaos, she thrives on clarity. Leadership, she demonstrates, is rooted in empathy, not ego. It's not what she says that undoes him, it's what she embodies, patience, grace, and the refusal to play his game. While he clings to applause, she earns admiration effortlessly. He rallies crowds for validation, she unites people for change. His power is performance, hers is purpose. His empire is spectacle, bright, loud, fleeting. Hers is influence, steady, quiet, enduring. Time favors substance over noise, and in that contrast, Trump's chaos collapses while Michelle's legacy endures.